Shalom, I praise to Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, and salute to you bros teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. So this lesson here is going to be based off a lesson that the brother did, GMS Prisoners of Hope, where he had gone to Stonehenge, and pretty much he encountered this individual at this location, and this individual, Stuart, Stu, pretty much, is an individual that goes around the Stonehenge and, conducts ceremonies and things of that nature, and he's actively up there and things of that nature. But what I want to highlight is that this individual, there's levels to this Illuminati and this stuff, so it kind of influenced me to do this lesson. He's supposed to be a high priest wizard, but pretty much, and I'm gonna go right into it, and I'll go into it quick, because when you check it out, the druid, the druids are basically a Freemasonic order of the Illuminati, and a lot of these people that are involved in this stuff, they don't really know what it's even about. Okay, you got these individuals. The first thing I'm going to do, this is the first thing that happens. The first thing you do when you type in bloody druids and Stonehenge, the first thing that comes up is a bunch of revelers. Let's go there. And you've got these priests that do ceremonies with revelers. So let's watch one of those videos.
Did you know that in the UK you can have huge debts, including credit cards, loans, overdrafts, and
But when you really go into it, you find out that this druid organization is a top level Freemasonic organization, and they do private ceremonies, and they've got top officials of the Illuminati in this organization. And a lot of these cranks, a lot of these people that are going there, they think they're doing something good. Some of them think we're pagans and we're trying to bring pure energy and free thinkers and all of this. They're a bunch of cranks. Because when you check it out, let me turn up the when you check it out, bear with me, yeah. A lot of these common folk with these piercings on their foreheads, they're smoking weed up there. A lot of these individuals, they don't really know what the hell they're doing, and I'm going to prove that. So let me play this.
Winter solstice to me means gathering of all the tribes, literally, and groups of druids and pagans and witches and travellers and people from all over different parts of England and Europe as well, here at the Great Stones of Stonehenge, which of course is a custom and tradition which has gone on now for, at least 5,000 years.
So as you can see, you got Jake there in the back, you got the black woman, you got Moabites. This is a public Goyim celebration, of people that don't even really know what the hell this is about. Okay, and I'm gonna go into show that, because a lot of these priests or whatever they're calling themselves, a lot of these are not, not really high level ranking members of this Illuminati, man. But a lot of these individuals, this is for the public. People go there, smoke weed. A lot of them, most of these people, they don't know that this is it's a temple of satanic sacrifice, and these stone temples were all over England and Ireland, and of the druids, cults, or the priests. and they were conducting human sacrifices and stuff like that. These people don't know that, so let me carry on. So as you can see, you got these common folk dancing around, boogieing, and all of that, and it's common folks. And that individual that rolled up there, he's one of those common folks from one of them common towns. Even on the newspapers, the newspaper clipping of this individual, I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna show you the point right quick. And I found that spiritual. I'll go into that in a bit. But where is this individual? This individual, that the brother sin up there, Druid Stu, claims pagans being persecuted over Stonehenge. If he was on a level, he wouldn't be banned. A lot of them are getting banned from going there. Do you think that's gonna happen with the Illuminati? Did the Illuminati ban the Queen from doing the G7 meeting in lockdowns and going and having parties? No, they didn't. I gotta click it here because it wasn't working. The article. It says Druid wizard Stu claims pagans being persecuted over Stonehenge winter solstice ban. So he's in the front of the papers, man. Now the real priests, they're not going to be in front of these newspapers. It says exclusive crowd of 5,000 was expected for the shortest day of the year. So these individuals, they don't know what's going on. They do it for like it's some kind of like like everybody's into yoga, everybody's spiritual nowadays. These spiritualist people on the internet, they drink a green smoothie. They might be into feminism and all these philosophies mixed. They go Glastonbury to listen to music up there. Then they might come down here and look what it says. It says crowds of 5,000 were expected for shortest day of the year on December 22nd, and Stu says they think we're drunk and stoned. But it's that's because a lot of yous are. Now this doesn't give you the rest of it. But for some reason this article, it comes up, but it's not been coming up on my thing. It keeps blurring out for whatever reason. But I'm going to show you something right now. Okay, here it is. It's up here. Look at that. This stuff is for the goyams. These ain't look at this. A lot of them individuals, and anybody can go there. You got to pay whatever to walk around to get closer. You got the tour. Give me a second. And let me, you know what? I'm going to go back to that. Let me get to my point here before, the point is missed, to show you that this is for the guy. So let me show you what's really going on with these organizations. Now, you had a high-level member of the Illuminati, if you will, because these organizations are so secretive that you can only being on the outside, you can only go so far with it. Who the hell knows what they're really getting up to. But as you see, it's a Freemasonic order with their symbols, top mayors there and top officials. If you look at this picture, you can see that they go there with certain symbols and certain people. Now there's a couple of other pictures I want brothers to see, like this one here, Winston Churchill. And look at the kind of individuals. They got the mayor chains on their necks. Top officials are the ones that this Druid order is really about. And I'm going to bring out the scriptures, Isaiah 47. That's why the Queen's a part of this. And the people that are really into this, I mean, you even had John Todd that, when he was going into it, he mentioned that the Rothschilds, you got the Rothschilds and you got the Grand Druid Council, which is the Council of 13. And he said it was like the 13 most powerful men. You know, some say the 13 families. He said the most powerful men. And he called him the Grand Druid Council of 13. So you got levels to this. So a lot of them people that are going up by those events, it's being sold to them as some kind of festive. Oh, it's a summer festive. Just pray. A lot of these people don't know what the hell's going on. They was doing ritual sacrifices up there, okay, and sacrificing children and whatnot. And the top elites that were involved in this, you know, they're more conservative looking, you know, as that, if you would use that word, you know. And like, you got Winston Churchill, and I'm going to show you a clip. And by the way, when they really do have their ceremonies there with the top officials and with the real, by the way, the Druids actually, they wear white robes. That's what they do. The Druids actually conduct these ceremonies. They don't dress like hippies. They wear white robes. Okay, so here it is. You got Winston Churchill being installed into the Albion Lodge of the Ancient Order of Druids. It's a Freemasonic order of top officials and elites. So that dude, Stu Hamilton, running around, you know, a lot of these people, they're not real high priests in this. A lot of them are cranks running around, okay? This organization has top officials in it. I want to show more stuff. There was a damn picture I had up there, and it showed an initiation. I don't know what I've done with it. Here it is. Here's the picture. Look at this. Now, them men look like they're blindfolded, and it said, "Modern Druids at Stonehenge admitting new members to the Ancient Order." It's a Freemasonic lodge. It's a branch of, it's an order. It's like you witches, like you got the Jesuits, you got your Rosicrucians. Now I'm gonna go more into this. You know, I was listening to that cat. You know, the brother was speaking to him, and you know, he's from Tottenham and all this, and he was talking about Bob Marley and whatever, and you know, while I was listening to this dude, and I looked up his name and his articles, and you know, this individual, you know, he's a local crank. Okay, I'm just gonna put it like that. Now let's. You know, the real people that are up there, the real druids on that level, the high levels, the real high level ones, they're not. You see what they do? They make you see the public people doing all that. Random drug addicts from all over England and hippies and Glastonbury goers. They go here and they think they're free spirits and they're dancing around getting drunk. But they do that, so you don't really know what the place is about. And the real people that are conducting the rituals, you don't see them. Okay. You got Queen Elizabeth. You got the Queen right there, man. And another official. You got the police you got the police force order there. You got the military here. And this is a serious thing. They're not dancing, beating drums, and smoking weed.
Elizabeth of Windsor.
officials, police force, because this is high level stuff. This is high level stuff. I'm gonna prove I got more. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring a scripture out here, then go into it. I wasn't gonna get this, but this is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. These people that are really a part of these organizations, they've got power in their hands. They're not going to get banned from Stonehenge. And that proves, that's how I know that this dude is not on the level that he's talking about. He's from the local area, Tottenham, the Jake area. You know what I mean? He's like what I'd call a local crank. Now let's go back here. And basically, I was watching a video, and this individual just came. I started meditating on this individual because, there's levels to everything, man. There's levels to the elect. You got Yahweh Shai and the 12 apostles. I think you had the 72, the 74. Then you got the rest of the elect. And this druid order is high levels of witchcraft. Nice. So the council banned this dude, or banned him from, and the 5,000 other civilians that were gonna go there and beat drums and party. What did you say? Paganism is the most accepting religion, and we're being persecuted as usual. If this is any other faith or religion, there would be an uproar. Now, what is done? What they've done is made a lot of these pagan religions mainstream, and made them ways of life. Like a lot of people are into yoga. They think, yoga is like, I'm just doing stretches. Then I've put a Buddhist statue. You're into a philosophy of witchcraft. You got what people, the New Agers, free thinkers. It says, how come the council can get away with this? That's because you're not on a level. You're not on a level. Spraying people fucking going at it outside, man. It says, man, that's Satan. These people are going at it. There's so much awareness about religious tolerance, yet people in power do not seem to understand us. The people in power, see, so he's proven that he's not a person in power. He's just a local. He does ceremonies for goyams. Okay, he's not the people in power. The people in power, you're not gonna see if they had a ceremony for the Queen up there, or if they had a Druid ceremony for Winston Churchill, the council wouldn't be stopping that. Bridget Wyman, Wiltshire's council's highway chief, she's on a higher level than him. We want people to enjoy the event, and every year close Byway 12 for the safe, managed open access so anyone can enjoy it. So that proves that alone. So what I want to do, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me go to this. Let me show you something there. You got the United Ancient Order of Druids. I'm gonna show you something about this. It's a fraternal organization founded in England, which, by the way, the law's going to destroy all this. The Lord is definitely going to destroy all this. But this lesson goes out to a lot of you people running around England, bogged out of your heads. Like you seen you had Jakes up in there. And you got a lot of people that think, I'm free. No, you're bogged out. You don't even know what really goes on in these locations. Child sacrifice, man, and that's a whole nother lesson. So you got the United Ancient Order of Druids. man, these demons are out of full, man. 1 second. Demons are out of play. So it says the creation of 1833 of the ancient United Order of Druids was a result of a split in the ancient Order of Druids. A significant part of the members decided to create a Druidic order more open to different social classes, structured as a benefit society and registered by government. Just like Freemasonry, you'll have people that will join that and they don't really know what it's about. They're at the lower lodges. They'll be in like the free lodges, free earlier lodges. Okay. So there you go. So I can go more into it. I'm not going to go too deep into it. I think I made the point here. And so when you look at these types of pictures here, you know, these druids, they wear white. And there's a lot of key members that are in this organization. Top people. Like top officials. Famous people. Like we just showed you Winston Churchill. We just showed you the Queen in a Druidic ceremony. The Queen. Okay. So you look at this. And as like I said, it's Freemasonry as well, because what Esau Edom does is merge witchcraft. He deals with mysticism from Babylon. He deals with mysticism from Egypt. He deals with all of that. So when you look at that, and then you look at this, and they use a sword and all that. When you look at that, and then you go back and you look at, I'm gonna go back. And you go back and you look at this.
With MailChimp's Creative Smarts, simply enter your website. Get beautiful designs drawn from your brand.
When you go to these parts of England, you got a lot of these common folkers that are just into these curious religions. They don't even know what the hell's going on. Now, what I want to do is I want to bring out some information, bring out some scriptures and some information. Because what the point of what I'm trying to do here is really go into how sinister and the levels of what these devils are into. That's the point. Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments, with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast laboured from thy youth. Because it's these top elite devils that have gone to these different places. They've gone to Egypt. They've gone and done digs and they've reading books in history and modeled their kingdom, you know, after the principles of Babylonianism and, you know, Egyptology and all that. It says, wherein thou hast laboured from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. And you got druids in America and all over the world. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy councils. Okay, so they got councils and levels in their organizations, which the Lord said they're wearied in the multitude of their councils. You know, and that's just true. That's the point. Like, they're gonna be, you know, they're going to these temples and these places, but they're gonna be destroyed. Now, one thing you'll know, if that a lot of these people know, is that the Stonehenge is like more of the commercial, ritualistic temple. There's one not far from there, a stone circle, that was more intense. Because Stonehenge, they act like it's just one stone. No, Stonehenge is a collection. It's Druid temples that were all over England, man. Stone circles. And there's ones that are, you know, more ruined than that. But there was ones where they were more intense. way more intense. And they'll tell you that. You know, we've gone up there and people have told us that, different people and, you know, dodgy individuals. And if you do your research, you find that out. There was something else. Okay, let me see if I can find another clip. There was something else I was gonna bring up, but there you had it. The Queen involved in the ritual. You look at that, and you look at what they're doing now. They got random revelers there, jumping around, smoking weed. Okay, but what you gotta understand is that this philosophy of witchcraft and all that is broadened and is pushed onto the people, to the common folks. Where you got common folks in their house with Buddha statues and they're doing this and doing that. Isaiah 47:13. Now we read in the multitude of thy counsels, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Yeah, because they're actually doing human sacrifices, and when you go into it, that whole Wicker Man thing, they was doing that in the Druids were doing that. Now they're actually doing that to this day. You know, you got levels to the people that are actually doing that. You think that the council will ban the real high level people from going to Stonehenge and doing a sacrifice? The council can't ban that. These people own the council. You know, it says, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, they shall not be a coal to warm at, no fire to sit before it. Yep, because all these places have to be destroyed. You know, America's high into witchcraft. That whole land's going to be burnt up, but the beast is going to be burnt with fire too. And all these, you know, different, you know, satanic grid points, which they build them on the ley lines, because, you know, ley lines are, you know, high spiritual energy portals, so they're trying to tackle. You had that band Led Zeppelin that made the track "Stairway to Heaven," which is your portals, and they was all up in staying in the house of Aleister Crowley and in his mansions and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so there was so I got some more information. Druid. So let's look up Druid, right? Because what they try and do is hide. If you put in Druid and child sacrifice, they try and hide it. This is what I'm saying. They've got a general public bullshit that people believe. So the real people that are doing this stuff can go behind the scenes. You won't know about them. You won't know it really exists. All you see is these hippies doing cartwheels on the stones. It's a Druid, member of the learnt class among the ancient Celts. They acted as priests, teachers, and judges. The earliest known record of the Druids come from the 3rd century BC. Their name may have come from a Celtic word meaning knower of the oak tree. Very little is known for certain about Druids, who kept no records of their own, which there is information on them. It says, according to Julius Caesar, he was the principal source of information about the Druids. There were 2 groups of men in Gaul that were held in honor, the Druids and the noblemen. Equites, if I'm saying it right. Caesar related that the Druids took charge of public and private sacrifices, and many young men went to them for instruction. They judged all public and private quarrels and decreed penalties. If anyone disobeyed their decree, he was barred from sacrifice, which was considered the gravest of punishment. One Druid was made the chief. Upon his death, another was appointed. If, however, several were equal in merit, the Druids voted. Although they sometimes resorted to armed violence, once a year the Druids assembled at a sacred place in territory of the Carnutes, which was believed to be the central of all Gaul, and all legal disputes there were submitted to the judgment of the Druids. So it says, Caesar also recorded that the Druids abstained from warfare and paid no tribute. Attracted by those privileges, many joined the order voluntarily or were sent by their families. They studied ancient verse, natural philosophy, astronomy, and the law of the gods, some spending as much as 20 years in training. The Druids were said to believe that the soul was immortal and passed at death from one person to another. And it's like I was talking about the Illuminati, the Freemasons. You got people that are in there that think they're actually Christians. I don't know what the hell's going on in the organization. You know, you got Freemasons all over the country, regular people. And you got these people that are going there. I'm a Druid. You see the commoners there? I'm a Druid. You don't even know what the hell they roll. Do you know they were doing child sacrifice? Well, let's go here. It says Roman writers also stated that the Druids offered human sacrifices. Right there. For those who were gravely sick or in danger of death in battle. But you see, that's what huge wicker men images were filled with living men and then burned. Although the Druids preferred to sacrifice criminals, they would choose innocent victims if necessary. So all them people dancing around smoking weed, didn't know that? No, the damn sure don't. But did the top elites, like the Queen and all them that were up there, and the people that are involved on them levels that are calling themselves Druids, did they know what was going down in there? Yes. Now, one thing I noticed is, even from before, they always said, oh, Stonehenge, we don't know why it's there, and if it was built millions of years ago. Bullshit. It's not the temples of human sacrifice. And that's where you get your origins of Halloween from. The trick-or-treat, and they would bring you to Stonehenge and boil you your face off in a cauldron, you know, all the kind of stuff. Spill your guts on the Stonehenge. They would go to people's towns and they would ask them trick or treat, and if you didn't, and they would take you, you'd have to offer someone in your town for a human sacrifice, man. And that's why these things are secretive. What does the scripture say? Hide me from the secret. Let me get that quickly. Just forgot what I was gonna get. Okay. So now we're going further into the lesson. You can see the more of the edification, Lord willing. The point I'm trying to make here. Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Yeah, it's called the secret counsel of the wicked. And these organizations that really do these sacrifices, they're not going to be banned from the council, and they're not going to be recorded, and they're not going to be in the paper like this individual. They're not going to be in the front of the newspaper. You know? You know, the people that are at the heads of these sacrifices are people in positions of power. You know, not your local crank from the hood. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. And a lot of their rituals and sacrifices for power and to appease the demons, to keep them in the positions of power, to offset the prophecies, to take the Lord out, So in my head, that individual, he's just your local crank. Because even they called him, the mirror, he went to them papers and they spoke about him there. So as we went deeper into this Wicker Man, they made movies on this. This is what they were doing. And them Celts, man, and them was you blacks, man. All right. And it's funny because I come across this image I was just messing around, putting things in. And I got someone that drew this. Okay. You had your Celts, your men of the York. You know, you blacks, man. You know, even when the Romans had come over to the British Isles, you had Picts over here, and different tribes, and you had the Celts and all that as well. You know, which the Picts of Japhet. You know, you had a lot of those Japhetic tribes, and when you look at the way they look like those Samoans, man. The tattoos everywhere. You know, the Picts. But you had you Celts, man. You tribes. Bogged out into philosophies. So that was kind of spiritual. You know, I put in famous, you know, Druids was a search, and, you know, this came up. And I noticed, like, I did a search about something else, and it was showing medieval. Someone drew like dark-skinned beings in medieval empire. You know, it's always through things like that where you find stuff like that. So here's more what the Druids with the Queen. And the police and the military are usually there. And top officials. This is for top officials. Especially when it comes to them top sacrifices, man. They ain't getting banned. Look at this. Top people in positions are involved in these organizations. You know? You got that's what it's an actual lodge. The Grand Order is of the Grand Order of the Druids, man. It's an actual lodge, you know. But you know, Esau's thing's so secretive anyway that you know, the man pretty much you know, the man likes to hide. But that's how the Illuminati rule, in secrecy. So the real top individuals, you don't know who they are. Like there was one this one Jesuit of the, like, he's the leader of the Jesuit order in England, and there's obviously others. They're hard to find. Now this dude, you find out that this dude lives in he conducts, he's always in Africa. He's in South Africa or in different parts of Africa. Why is he down there? Because he's into that witchcraft amongst some Hamite leaders. Then he's got temples in this countryside in the countryside in the south of England and all that. Kent, in different parts. Well, what was the name of that town? Grinstead. You got different towns down there, and stuff like that. Now we had spoken to someone around that Stonehenge, someone that actually lives there, and you know, they're part of the community there. You know, you've got people that are really involved in that, but you're not gonna know who they are. He was, you know, you could tell this dude, the way he spoke, he was curious, and he pretty much like said that there's another site up the road. There's a stone circle. That's where it really happens at. All right. And you've got different orders. You've got all these different orders. You got Freemasonry, you got Cold Masonry, but it's, you know, the top is the people in power. You got Freemasonry, you've got Order of the Druids, you got Rosicrucians, you know, and you know, people always to try and break it down, you know. So I mean, the high level Druids are not going to be cranks like that. That's getting outed by the mirror for getting banned by the council. He ain't even allowed to go there with 5,000 other commoners. That dude, now I keep mentioning the dude, but he kind of like seeing that. You know, I was watching him, we were talking to him. I was listening to that dude. I said, this dude, man, he's like, he's I mean, come on, man. So that's pretty much it. You know. So is there any more? I've got more information. I mean, this stuff doesn't end. This stuff doesn't end. Because like I said, you had through the Winston Churchill search, you know, to show you how serious this order is and how what kind of people are there. The military and the police are there to protect them. This is top level stuff. And like I said, John Todd had said, you mentioned about your and then, like I said, they wear white robes, they don't dress like hippies. But John Todd had mentioned, you know, however true it is, he said that you got the Druid, the Grand Druid Council, the Council of 13 Witches, which is the top witches on the planet. But you got the Druids is like a mainstream religion, and that's what the dude was trying to protest. You got witches, you got Druids, you got Wiccans. It's just a lot. You got a lot of common people into that shit. You know, but there's actually an order of that that's higher than those people. Now, what does it all matter? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, all of it's going to be destroyed, and we read that. But the Lord said he's coming for what? The rulers and the kings of the earth. He said that in Psalms, to bind their nobles. So we got to know that, because there's levels to this. To this stuff. Psalms 149 and 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. Yeah, because the saints are going to be joyful in glory and sing aloud upon their beds. And it says, let the high praises of the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, be in their mouth. And a two-edged sword in their hand, which is we're going to actually have. You know, we're going to have spiritual powers and tools of judgment. 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. Yeah, like these heathens all over. And look, you got people bowing down. You got black women bowing down to Buddha. You're all going to get judged. It says to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. But them elites, they got a special judgment coming to them. They got a special judgment coming to them now. It's like in the movie with the X-Men, Magneto. They're going to be in space bunkers hiding under the earth. They're going to be grabbed up. I mean, why does it in the... I could go back to that. Let me get this quickly. Why in James does it say this? James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. So these howl, weep, ye rich men, weep and howl. And these top elites in these top organizations, they're your top elites. You know, they're known as the money masters or international bankers. And they go under different, you know, names. You know, you got different, you know, and like I said, it's all secretive anyway. You got Rosicrucians, Jesuits, and this and that. And a lot of them elites, when you go in their house, I mean, there was one show I was watching, and they kept harping on about Prometheus. Which is like your worship of many gods. Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the labourers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. So Lord of the armies, the apostles always go into that. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and ye doeth not resist you. And then you got millionaires, which come on. You know, a lot of goyams become millionaires when they get them rap deals. Then you got billionaires, and then you got trillionaires. And you got a lot of these billionaires. They're like a lot of them are just they're not in the level of the elites, and they're doing the bidding of the elites. You know, well-known billionaires, you know. There was another scripture. Oh yeah, I wanted to bring this out. Revelation 11 and 8, which is talking about America. But let's get a point here. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. America. Sodom and Egypt. Because they worship the gods and the practices of those places, man. Now, there was another piece of information here. If you go down here, it says, very soon the UAOD proved to be a great success, and many of its members traveling abroad, creating new lodges in the US, Australia, New Zealand, and the Great Empire. Now, this is another piece of information. Check this out. The George Washington Lodge, the first lodge in the United States, was established in New York City in 1839. By 1979, the group was apparently defunct as a national organization. Despite this decentralization of the United Ancient Order of Druids as a national organization, the United Order of the Druids of Cali, or simply Druids of Cali, founded in Percival by Frederick Siege in the 19th century, continues to exist. It's governed by a Grand Grove with coordinated 13 subsidiary groves. So you got levels, and notice it was called the George Washington Lodge. So these lodges of these top level priests really go back to top individuals, man. No, it was called what? The George Washington Lodge. You know? And there was all kind of information that you know, I was not going to go into all this druidry.com, and the first thing they start talking about is dark magic. So I'm not even going to go into all that. But we read that the Lord is going to destroy and burn them with the fire, man. Okay, there was something else. So that's it. So what I'm gonna do is I could go deeper into it, but that was pretty much the point of what I wanted to bring out there. Look at notable members here, but it goes back. So you know, this is like notable members, like so top people, politicians, dukes, you know, British officer and politician, top people are involved in this ancient order of druids. It's an elitist organization, high levels of witchcraft and Satanism. So that's what it is. And if there's anything else, if the spirit hits me, I'll do some more shows on this. And then, you know, come out with some more information on it. You know, but that's really the point. And like I said, everything that's on the left, everything on the left is on the right. Because you got levels to, you got levels to the you know, the Lord, you know. So like I said, I was watching, you know, when you type in these druids, you see these general public people dancing around, man. It's laughable. Even line up there, the people are hugging the stones. These people, look at that individual part of them is one of them that goes there dressed like a hippie from the local man, and thinks he's bringing peace.
Well, I'm a witch, so I do class myself as pagan, as in I follow the wheel, and I also celebrate nature. But I do class myself as a witch because I like to work and manipulate energy so that I can get an outcome from that.
So you got levels, man, and I mean, like I said, who really knows how deep this stuff goes? But one thing we do know is that your elites are involved in this, and they're the real ones at the top of this, man. I'm gonna play this clip again, and this is like serious shift for Esau and his left hand side. If you know the Heavenly Father controls that. Queen is the queen being in the you know, and I think they're trying to disassociate her from all, because you know the real people involved in this, they're not letting you know that. You know, they're kind of saying, oh, well, she's not really, she's been disassociated from it, you know, because you can't speak Welsh and all this. Come on, man. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.